Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. I got a little chance to work on some projects today. I hope you did too. I have these bags. I have these bags all over the house, and they have in the yarn rooms. If I leave them in the living room or something like that, Bear, he's our chow puppy. He's 9 months old now. Can you believe that? I think he's 9 months old. I don't know, whatever. He looks at this as like a food trough. He will stick his head in there and start pulling out whatever. He loves yarn about as much as I do, and he's really cute when he's all rolled around in it. Yeah, it's not a good thing. It's not. It's cute, but it's not something that I would definitely recommend. So they're all over in my rooms, like, oh, here, look, see, I had dragon one here. I got this one right here. I got them on Amazon. I didn't see that they were on, we've got Amazon Prime going on right now. I didn't see that they were on like big sales or anything, but these I've got like somewhere between $15 and $18. I can see physically 3 of them right now. I have a bunch, and that doesn't mean I'm going to stop. They hold a lot. They really do. So I've got this project bag, and I've got ideas. Oh yes, I have ideas. I worked on some of the stuff. I actually worked on 2 things today. I worked on what I have affectionately called my monkey shawl, only because of the colors, right? It reminds me of Sock Monkey in the colors. And so I got a little chance of working on that today. And then the Valdrerie sweater, I think that's how you say it, Valdrerie. I'm not really positive. Oh, darn, it's in the other room. But, well, that's the color. That's the color. So I had a chance to work on 2 things today, which is fantastic. I thought about working on some socks, but I already did my sock episode. And socks, I tried to get done a decent amount for the To the Toes. And that's on Tuesday. So I did that. And To the Toes is Thursday. Tackle is Tuesday. But I did that. And it's like, I need to work on something else. I need to get some other progress. So that's why I grabbed this. And man, I'm a little discombobulated. My notebook's downstairs too. And on my notebook, what a fun episode for all the new people, right? It's like, what is this lady talking about? All right, let me take a breath. There we go. Hi, I'm Shannon. I love to knit. I love to crochet, and I absolutely love to talk about yarn. And I talk about all sorts of things. And if I find a good deal, I'm going to share it. There you go. That's all there's to it. My motto is I find pretty and I share. Whether that's yarn or accessories or patterns, or it really doesn't matter. If I find something beautiful in the crafting world and I'm excited about it, I'm going to share it with you guys because, well, I'm excited. And isn't that what we always do, is we share our stuff when we're excited about things? So one of the things that I just recently did is I went through my notebook. I know, old-fashioned, written down with paper and pencil. Actually, it's a pen, but you get the idea, of everything that I have started this year. And it's a lot. And then going through and all the things that I'd finished, I got to the little check mark next to. So I was going through, I'm like, how many things have I not finished? They were 17. They were 17. And then I finished one of those, and then I started a new one, like finished and then immediately started a new one. So, 17 things. Which, if you're new here, you're like, oh my gosh, that lady never finishes anything. I finished 34 of them that were on the list, and then others that weren't on the list because they were started in 2025 or sooner. So I do finish some things. I really do. But I have some goals. I don't know what they are yet, but I have them. They're in my head, honest. I'm working through them. And in this bag, I've got multiple projects. And, I might as well just show you the monkey shawl thing that I was talking about. See, this is my monkey shawl. And I have multiple projects. I was thinking of tomorrow, because it came to me later in the day. You know how that goes, like best ideas, right? Is hubby has friends over tomorrow, so I will be left to my own devices. Now, that doesn't mean I don't sit in the conversation, everything, listen and throw in my 2 cents once in a while, but I will be left to my own devices. And I was thinking tomorrow would be a good day to do the time something in 30-minute increments. I love doing that. I don't do that often. Well, don't do that all the time. But what that is I've got a bunch of things in it. We're going to see what's in this bag, because I've got a bunch of I think there's like 4 or 5 projects in here. Yeah. That is no joke. And time that 30-minute increment and see what I can get done. See, and then, maybe I'll come back tomorrow and say, okay, I played with the bag. This is what I got done. So we're going to look at what I have in it today. And I did a bunch on this. Oh, I changed the pattern too. it's okay because I made the pattern, so I can change it. So this is, it's an asymmetrical shawl. It's not a huge asymmetrical shawl, but it is an asymmetrical shawl, right? So we got that, and it's more of a boomerang shape, so it's not a real deep triangle. I had so much yarn, that's what I'm using. Well, I changed it. Look at this. Can we not even see that? Can we not see what I did? We can't see what I did. I can see it on the back side. Can we see it at all? No, we can't see. I can see it in person, honest. You're like, what are you talking about? So on these last 3 of the stockinette section, I did eyelets. You can see my thumb getting through. You can actually see it pretty well in person, and I'm going to have to get something to put behind it so you can see. Yeah, you can see the eyelets right there. So you can see that. So I've got 3 sections with eyelets right now. It's going to add a different dimension. Well, that's my story anyway. I don't know. But I'm changing it. Oh, yeah, you can see it a little bit. Yeah, you can see right here, and right here. So they're not quite the same. These are solids in here, and these are, you know, even on camera, you can tell something's different. Okay, cool. So we can't see that. And I'm just adding a different dimension to it because, well, I can. Why not? I'm just having fun with that. So I did a good amount. Let me see our stitch marker down here. I got a good amount done. Oh, and you want to see what else I found out? You are not the only one. If you make mistakes or you drop stitches every once in a while, it happens. It doesn't matter how good you are or how good you think you are. So right here, this stitch marker is also holding this brown loop right here. Yeah, that's a stitch. That was an edge stitch of some sort. So it's holding that in place. I'll just take the yarn and tack it down. Now, right now, it's not going to run, it's not going to do anything, but it was a drop stitch. Well, I'm not going back that far. I will tack it down. It'll be fine. Life will be good. So I guess the lesson on that one is not all mistakes do you need to fix, but maybe there are some that you need to deal with. You know, have you ever heard the phrase, a stitch in time saves 9? Now, if I don't do anything with that dropped stitch and leave it, it might kind of hold for a while, but through wear, once I finish this garment, through wear and blocking, that stitch, just like those pantyhose will do when they get stretched, will start to run. And then it'll be more stitches that need to be fixed. And I think in a literal sense where that a stitch in time saves 9 is just that. Fix the rip now, otherwise it's going to get bigger and it's going to be more of a problem, and it's going to be 9 times that of which it would have been if you would have taken care of it the first go around. That's the way I think of it anyway. I'm not really sure, but pretty much, you know, fix your problem as soon as you notice it. There you have it. And for me, you're like, well, you didn't fix it, but I kind of did. I put the stitch marker there to hold it so it doesn't cause any more damage. It's not going to run. It's not going to do anything else. And then I will take that yarn, and either I can take sewing thread that is a similar color and just tack it down, put a couple stitches on there, invisible, not a problem. If I don't have the sewing thread that color, which I know I do, Amazon, right? Amazon, one of those big sewing kits and everything that people don't actually use. I got one. And it's got a ton of colors on it. Okay, great. So I'll just tack that down with one of the browns. Life is good. And then it won't run. And we're good. So in the meantime, I'm going to continue making this bigger. And it has definitely grown. So now, and this one is one that I will lightly block when it's done because I like the way that the texture is with those purl rows or the garter stitch rows. So how big is this thing? All right. It is getting there, and you know that naturally rolls right there, and a light block to keep the texture I think is going to be amazing. But this is going to be really a beautiful bandana style scarf, shawl, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be stunning, and I'm continuing to work on it. And oh yeah, like I was commenting before, please don't strangle me, it is now getting to where it's closer, right? That's, oh yeah, you can see here's the end of my needles, right? And that's the edge stitch. So it's getting bigger and bigger to where pretty soon it's not going to fit. I'm going to have it really scrunched to really show that. But I did get some more, and I do like that. So that's nice. So that's one. This got attention. This one got attention. This one got love. Where's my scale's right here. I'm going to weigh this. I'm surprised. So this is a sport weight yarn. It's not fingering. It is sport weight. I started out with 85 grams of this. And the reason I started with this shawl is I was thinking, I'll make it as big as I can make it because I only have 85 grams of this one. And I had, I think, 100 or closer to 100 of the red. And this one was called Cherry and this was called Red Velvet. Sock monkey all day long. And I just didn't think that I would have enough of that 85 grams to do anything of a decent size. So I thought a bandana shawl or something would show off the yarn, be very nice. And I'm doing 4 rows of stockinette and then 4 rows of garter stitch. And it would just going back and forth. And when I run out of this, I'm done. I've gotten a lot more on that than I had expected. And this little tiny ball is like the never-ending gobstopper. It does not look any smaller than when I first started it. It doesn't. I mean, I've obviously used it. It's you know, it's gotten quite a bit on the shawl, but it just does not shrink. It's 45 grams. So I've used 40 grams of it since I had 85 to begin with. All right. That can be a really big piece. And then it has me wondering, do I just rip it all out and start something different? I mean, that's kind of how I roll on certain things. I think I'll sleep on that. I think I like this. I like this with the eyelets. It's adding a little more dimension to it, and I'm having fun with that. So I'm going to continue with that. So that's one that I'd like to see how many projects I can touch tomorrow. You know, now granted, if I wanted to, I could do 10 minutes on each and go, okay, I played with them. You're not going to be able to see the difference at 10 minutes, but I could do that. But I'd like to put maybe like 30 minutes onto each one and see. Here's my sock. This one I didn't touch it today, but this one I have been for the last couple of days going, okay, I did 2 rows, time to fix something else. It's starting to grow. And this color is called Fuego, and it is the Alegria sock yarn. It's Manos de Uruguay. It's Alegria fingering weight yarn, and it is gorgeous. So I've gotten quite a bit on that. I am now on the straightaway on the toes. I have done all the decreases, so now I just go around and around and around until I get to the toe section. So this is pretty cool. I have 10 pair of socks that I have finished this year already. This is one of the multiple pair that I have on the needles. So that's, again, it's in this bag. I've got another pair of socks in here. This one. And I have the reinforcing thread I'm going to use with it. All right, so we're going to play with this. So this one, all right, I got to take it. Okay. One moment, please. I'm about ready to drop a whole bunch of stitches. Okay, so here's my reinforcing thread. And can you see how I pulled this out of my bag, right? And all of those don't have a needle on them. It's quite a few don't have a needle stuck in them. I mean, it did have a needle there, but you know, it was in the bag, and there's a lot of other things that got shoved on the project. So yeah, alrighty, let's see. Grab this needle. About 5 more stitches to pick up, and life is good. So if you're ever in that situation and you're picking up stitches, especially like this, you know, I'm being watched, right? You guys are watching me. You're looking over my shoulder, so to speak. You're like, I wish I could look over your shoulder and see what you're doing. So I don't worry about the orientation of the stitches. I don't worry about that. And you can see, right, this is what I just picked up. Let's see if I can put it right here. Can you see that loop? So that loop right there is where I had pretty much dropped a stitch. I really did. I had dropped a stitch, not a problem. When I come to that, I will pick that one back up. I'll knit this right here, that loop. That's 2 stitches. That's 2 stitches that weren't knitted. That's fine. I will fix all of that. I'll rearrange the stitches. When you're picking up your stitches, the most important thing is get them on the needle to cause as little damage. Kind of like we were just talking about that stitch in time saves 9. It's the same thing. Get it on the needle. Don't worry about the orientation. Don't worry about that. It was easier for me to get that row below. All right. And then I just have to fix one up. Not a problem. Than it was to try to get it exactly as is. Less damage, and make it go that way. So there we have it. This one I am using some of the techniques very similar to the vanilla is the new black, which was, do I have a sock over here with that one? No, I don't. It was a different heel. It was a different heel style. And this, I'm doing a different heel style on this one also. So that's what I have my red markers. This yarn, is an opal yarn. It is a beautiful yarn. I cannot count the rows on this. I mean, this is like an eye test, right? This is an eye test. And that's without even moving. You start going like this and forget it. Just forget it. I cannot count the rows on that easily. I just can't. It's too, makes your eyes go like this. My dad could do that. He could make his eyes go like this, you know, kind of back and forth. It's crazy. I can a little bit, but he could really do it. So that's what this does. And I didn't want to do my typical heel, flap, and gusset because it was really hard for me to count the rows. So I'm doing a heel that I don't have to pick up stitches on. So that's what I've got on this. And once I have finished that and I start turning, then I'm going to add this. So I'd kind of like to get to where I've got the reinforcing thread added to it. So that is another project. So, you know, we've had a shawl in there and 2 socks. All right, good. And I have one of my emotional support chickens. I do. My red, white, and blue one needs to be sewn together, and I need to make the wattle and the comb. It's not stuff in this bag, but that's where I'm at. Yeah. And this one is kind of like a Mardi Gras run with the colors, with the purple and the green. Wasn't the intention, but that's what it is. So I got a little special on this one, you know, a little bougie. And check that out. So that is the side. See, I striped with the green and the purple, and then I thought, cool, I'm gonna go to the other side and do that. Yeah, not quite. So on this one, that's like the back side, and that's the front side. See, each ridge being 2 rows, and it's a solid ridge. This one's not. So that, you know, see, they're not quite, can you, oh yeah, now you can see that. So I just realized at that point, I can take the color work out of that, just leave this over here because it's already done. Might as well leave it. It looks good. I can decide not to do color work on this, only having one side. It doesn't matter. It's my chicken. I think I can come up with a way to still do that. I want the green to pop like that. And, you know, really it shows and accents the short rows that are in this particular pattern. So that's where I'm at on here, which is farther because I think last time I showed it, I just had the green tea. I just had that green tea, and yeah, so I got some work on the chicken too. All right. I'm working on stuff. So I'm trying to get some of these projects that have been abandoned. And I believe that was a February project from abandoning, you know, got abandoned. And then the other one that's down here was my January project. And this is a baby jumper. And, oh, there's my car thing. Cool. Needed that. So this is the baby jumper I've got. This is the back. And it is a beautiful cable, just very vintage look to me. And I just finally, after, I've had this since January, by the way. This since January, and it's just been in hibernation. And I just haven't touched it at all. So I just started with this. And this is this yarn is a big twist yarn. Yep, so can't get it anymore. But right here, so I got quite a bit done. So, you know, just working on this. And I think if I pop on here, what order should I go in? I guess it does. I guess it depends on company, if that makes sense. So depending on if I am, like I said, it's my husband's company, but, you know, I butt my nose in because I'm the wife and, well, why not? I can do that. But it depends on if I'm playing with a pattern. Like this one, I have to really look at the pattern. Every row, it's a written out pattern. It's not charted. It's written out. It's gorgeous. Check that out. Check out that texture. Isn't that stunning? So this one, I have to look at a pattern. So depending on how engaged I am or how much I want to pay attention, this one wouldn't be the first one. It's probably why it's been in the bag for so long, right? Because, you know, I have to do something with it. So I have to look at a pattern for this one. All right, let's kind of figure this out. This is why socks tend to get attention, because I don't have to do much with the socks, right? All right, so I have to look at the pattern with this one. Okay, my chicken, I have to make some decisions on the chicken. We know how that works. Sometimes I just want to knit and play, and that's fine. I want to make a decision. So chicken needs some decisions. So there's 2 projects. This one's cool. This one's easy. Yeah, I dropped a few stitches. No big deal. Picked them back up. This one's definitely in the contender because it's socks. I mean, hello. They're the perfect type of a visitation project. So the sock is a good one. And I haven't worked on this one in a while. I don't think I've shown any progress on this one in a couple weeks. I don't think I showed any progress on it last week because I don't think I did anything with it last week. This one has gotten a lot of love. I mean, it has. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's so pretty. I love that. And then I just did work on my So, oh, I better put this in there before I lose it, right? And I just did work on this so-called sock monkey thing. Oh, we didn't weigh the red one. The red one, I think, was about 100 grams. I don't remember, but it was definitely closer to being a full ball than what the other color was. And I've got 45 grams on this also. So I have enough to make this boomerang shawl thing large. I mean, pretty big. You know, because I've only gone through like half my yarn so far. So I've got a good chunk. I can continue on. We'll see how big this gets, because what else am I going to do with the yarn, right? I mean, it's beautiful. It's sport weight. I don't have necessarily a ton of sport weight, so I can definitely continue with that. So I'm thinking of, you know what the rhyme or reason is for picking these projects? They were in the bag. That's literally why. Because they were already stuffed. The only one that wasn't stuffed in there and I added was this one. Because why not? I mean, it should be with the other monkey colored thing, right? I mean, it's not monkey colored, but I mean, it's the red and it's got the little bit of beige, brown, pink. I mean, come on. It's just, it works. So yeah, these bags, man, I tell you what, this is an Amazon thing. I don't have any Amazon affiliates or what have you, but these are fantastic. These are great. If you find one of them, you just look in small crocheted bags. And once you find one of them, I'm telling you, they have so many different patterns. And my friends and I have collected quite a few. And when I go visiting, I'll take one of those bags with me as my project bag. And it is like the TARDIS. You know, I can keep bringing things out. And even the local knitting group, okay, it's local crafting group. You do whatever you want. It's got yarn involved. You're good. So I will have that bag with me. And, you know, when you meet up with your friends, your knitting and crochet buddies, it's show and tell, right? You pull out your stuff and you show what you're working on. Even if it's not one that you want to work on right then, you know, because you don't want to mess up on it, because some patterns take a little more concentration than others. You know, the plain socks are great for company, right? But other things, maybe not. Like my lace shawl, that's not a good one to, let's go hang out and chat and let me work on this intricate lace. That's just asking for problems. But I know I've brought those bags with me multiple times, and I always get comments, how much more do you have in there? It's like the TARDIS. I keep pulling out projects. I mean, was it 5 projects? I pull out a project, I'm like, okay. And they're all different. Even with this, you think about it. I have 2 pairs of socks. I have a full shawl. I have a baby sweater. And what was that 5th one? 2 socks. And then chicken. And a chicken. And an emotional support chicken. I have 5 projects in there. And they are all just completely different. It's not like, oh, 5 sock projects. Well, of course you can fit 5 sock projects in there. Cool. No, 2 socks, a shawl, a baby sweater, a child sweater, and a chicken. Because, you know, we need emotional support chickens. I don't know why. But we do. I mean, why not? It's fun to make them. And I go through my little spurts with that. I started 3 of them like right back to back. 1 got done and the other 2 have languished, and they need to get done. They just do. They need to get finished. So those are my things that I would like to do. Maybe the smart thing would be to finish the chicken I have, since, oh, that's true. That one, I have to sew that together, put the wattle on and the comb. The wattle, you know, they've got the little comb, which is a little tiny piece that's up here, and the wattle is a little tiny red piece that hangs down here. So those are very simple, very fast to make. I'll find some red somewhere around here, right? Some scraps or what have you. And those are the only 2, and everything else is just sewing it together, and then it'll be done. Oh, find eyeballs. Find eyeballs. I have eyeballs, but then determine which eyeballs. Do I put black eyeballs on it? Do I put a color on it? Do I grab one of my dragon eyeballs? I got those dragon ones, right? Now, those I got from Amazon. Etsy sells them too, right? Whatever venue you prefer to go to, but, you know, some funky, fancy, cool-looking eyeballs. I used the dragon eyeballs on my last chicken because, well, it's mine and I could. Why not? Yeah, so those are the fun things. I think, you know what? Hold me to it. Tomorrow, we're going to see what I have. And I have some of those light bulb stitch markers. I think I'll put a light bulb stitch marker on each one of these projects where I start, so we can point to it and say, okay, here's where we're at. This is what I did. And, you know, maybe I'll go nuts on something and work on one thing for an hour and the rest for half. I have no idea. I have no clue. And maybe it'll be like my last 2 road trips where I planned great and wonderful things and, you know, nothing happened. Yeah, no, you guys reminded me of that. You're like, what are your last 2 road trips? Well, one was visiting my son, who is moving to Georgia this weekend, and his wife and their new baby. And I expected to be able to do a lot of fun things. And I took 3 bags. I had 3 bags of crafting stuff. My goal was to do that 30-minute increment all the way driving there and all the way driving back. We were in the car for 5+ hours. I think it was a couple hours to get, it was over 3 hours to get back. I do know that the first 6 miles is like 100+ miles. The first 6 miles was an hour. The next 12 miles was an hour. And then I stopped paying attention because I got car sick and I was miserable. I was just absolutely miserable. We could not get back fast enough. And, you know, there were times I felt like I probably should have got out and walked. I might have been able to move faster, right? I mean, you just weren't moving. So I had great plans. I took 3 bags of projects with me. 3 bags. Okay. To give you an idea, we see what fit in this bag. I took 3 bags of projects. I had high hopes. And then the other one was when my husband was going to drive me and Galena to Estes Park Wolf Festival, and he was going to be the chauffeur, and we were just going to be pampered princesses, right? You know, and the girls would get to talk and giggle and everything and have fun and talk about all of our yarn and play. And I had projects and everything that I'd planned, and, you know, I'm all nervous and all Twitter-pated and everything the night before on what do I want to take with me. And then my husband got woke up with the dogs and slept till 2 in the morning, and he was exhausted. And I'm not going to lie, he's a bit cranky, right? Because yeah, he didn't get any sleep. He'd been up since 2 in the morning. And the last thing he wanted to chauffeur around 2 grown women acting like children. I mean, I was going to act like a child. I was hoping Galena would too, right? You know, so I was going to act like a child. So I ended up driving. And he stayed home and got the much needed rest that he needed. And truthfully, we probably had a lot more fun that way because Galena and I, we went out and we just had a blast at Estes Wool Festival. And we were able to pick out whatever we wanted to. She was able to talk to vendors and people she knew. And I was able to look at all the yarn that I wanted to look at. And I bought the beautiful advent calendar from Little Squirrel Yarns. And I got the yarn that I make in the dragon cowl from them. And I got... where'd my green one go? And I got this from Meadowlark. They had the Fiber Company discontinued yarn in stock. So I got 4 of these to make my sweater. You know, I mean, I had an absolute blast. But there was no road trip knitting. And again, I had planned on really getting a good chunk done, driving there and driving back. And that was a shorter drive than driving to visit my son. But you know, so I had plans on that. So my road trip knitting has not worked out really well. But I'm not road tripping tomorrow. This is just in my house, and these are my goals. These are my goals. It's good to have goals. If we make them, great. And if we don't, well, you know, at least we had the goal. You know, because, you know, if your goal's up here and you fall short and you're here, well, you got here. You got here. I mean, that's impressive, right? You know, as opposed to, I might do something and get to there. Well, because you had a goal, you got to there. You missed here, but you got here, so you still got farther. And that's what I'm looking at. So tomorrow, I'm going to set timers and see what I can do in this bag. And I'll put those markers so we'll all know. It'll be fun. It'll be an experiment. I haven't done that. I've done the timer thing before, but I haven't said, hey, look what I've done. Here's this 30 minutes and this, and I worked on all of these in one day. So it'll be curious, kind of like a little experiment to see tomorrow how much I can get done in this bag in one day. And you know, goal of touch each thing for 30 minutes minimum. And then if I, you know, get all rambunctious and everything, work on all of them. Who knows? Work on them for an hour. That's crazy. That's crazy talk, but it could happen. All right, everybody, with that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.